Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since I had a cassette player in a car that my father bought me at a state auction in Connecticut. But Zeke says, you know what?
Wow,
it's time.
You were really living high on the hog as a kid.
It was rough.
Dad out here buying cars cash at auctions? I like that.
I mean, I think it was $900.
In high school.
Time we talk Super Bowl. I have a lot left to accomplish here. I'm excited to get back with the fellas and chase that ring. From 2016, we've been working on building this franchise to get a chance to win the Super Bowl. That's obviously priority, bro. That's the bar. Your reaction?
Well, first, let me start here. This is just further proof
here we go.
of what I've been telling you, of the fact, not a feeling.
If he
The fact that I've been telling you two for now, I don't know, a year and a half or so, that the Dallas Cowboys always were, always are, and always will be S-Bob.
Super Bowl or bust.
They are Super Bowl or bust. So Zeke goes in there, and he's only been there a day now. And he's saying, that's the first thing out of his mouth, we are S-Bob. He might as well have said, like Bruce said, we're S-Bob, all right?
I'm surprised he didn't.
Now, here's the problem. The Cowboys they don't know how to properly pursue the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Right. No, I mean, that's why they haven't won one in nearly 3 decades. They don't know how to properly pursue it. They're too excited. They're too immature. They haven't had enough success lately. It's like the young lady that wants to get married.
Okay.
And on the first date,
she brings it up.
she brings up marriage.
Okay, all right. That's
the Cowboys.
Yes.
It's not wrong that she wants to get married, but you got to go slow. Take it slow. Take it one day at a time, one game at a time, 1 week at a time. That's what I would tell the young lady, and that's what I'm telling the Cowboys. Slow your roll. It's good that you're S-Bob, but
okay. I once again do not care about banal offseason quotes.
Okay.
I do care about
Time. Can we throw the flag?
Yeah.
We have a full bulletin board filled with people who dare
work,
mention,
Wow.
hey, you know what? I think our team's pretty good. We hope to give the Chiefs a tough battle. Put them on the board. Put them, Dusty, bring out the board.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Well done.
Wow, that is amazing. See, we were talking about this before. Wilds is definitely calling out Nick Wright way more, and it is awesome. It makes the show so much better. They used to just let Nick say whatever he wants, and they would just kind of go along with it. Now they are pushing back, and he's like dumbfounded by it. I love it. I love it.
I know.
Continue.
As the
We
kids
could
would,
not let that fly.
well, listen.
just-
As the kids would say, I know you think you cooked there, but if I may respond to that, Kevin,
You cooked.
Thank you, bro.
I'm not a kid. But
having been at the last 2 Chiefs Super Bowl parades,
Yes.
rightly or wrongly, do they use any quote from someone else as motivation? Does that team take
Yes.
any? Okay,
Big time.
correct, right. So I do think that is relevant. I do not think the offseason pablum of any new draft pick or signing saying the goal is to win a championship without mentioning any other team or taking any other shots is actually part of a problem or a solution or anything. It is just words out into the ether that mean nothing. With that said, I do think the Cowboys have had a bad offseason. I don't think it's because of Micah's podcast or Zeke's quote. It's because, Brew, they got to the point where they had to sign Zeke. That's the problem. They clearly planned on drafting a running back. Makes sense. 20 were drafted.
Yeah.
And so I understand, the 20 were drafted. So why didn't the Cowboys get one? Well, it's twofold. The guy they hoped to draft in round 2, Jonathan Brooks, that Jerry talked about and I think maybe momentarily thought they had, went 10 picks ahead of where they were drafting. And then the Cowboys actually, because of, I think, a savvy trade back, got their guy in the first round and added a pick. They had extra picks in this draft. There was one round, they had 0 picks, the 4th round. In that round, 6 running backs were taken. There's always a run on positions. The run on tackles came at the end of round 1. The run on wide receivers happened kind of in the bridge from end of round 1 into round 2. The run on corners happened right after.
Are you making an excuse for them?
No, I think they got caught They got caught looking, basically.
But there's no excuse for them to have had to sign Ezekiel Elliott.
No,
as right now, kind of like their best back.
No, I mean, that's why I'm agreeing. It certainly was not their plan. I'm saying they screwed up. They got too cute in the draft where they had a big need at running back and decided against addressing it once Jonathan Brooks was there with one of their 2 third-round picks, thinking, we've got multiple 5th-round picks, we'll get them there. And then there was the run on backs. And then they didn't want to take any of the late-round picks. And now they are in a weird spot. So that plus the indecision at contracts and stuff, I think it's a bad offseason.
Yeah.
I just don't give a damn about this quote.
Okay, so this is interesting because Nick Wright the other day said getting running backs is easy. It's not that hard. Like it's just, he really acted like, you could just pretty much get anyone and you're all good to go. And now he's not necessarily saying the opposite, but he is saying like, oh, there was like not enough running backs essentially for the Cowboys. They ran out of backs. So, clearly they don't then just magically grow on trees. So I think this whole idea, I want to address this twofold about with what Ezekiel Elliott said. Because on one side, I get what he's saying. Like, of course, he's going to be positive. He's going to be optimistic. He's excited to get back to Dallas. He loves Dallas. That's his home. That's his franchise, all that. And he says he wants to chase that ring. Of course he wants to win a ring. He's got his money. He's not there for the money at this point. And of course, in his mind, his dream and goal and ambitions are to win a ring wearing a Dallas uniform, right? Having the Cowboys star. That makes total sense. Total sense. But at the same time, quotes like this do ring a little weak to me. Not saying that like Zeke is weak, but it's just kind of like, all right, like the Cowboys have done nothing in the playoffs for the last few years. They got blown out by the Packers. The Cowboys have had not a good offseason. You're getting signed with them. You're clearly not the back that you once were, which is totally okay. You're older now. You're past your prime, so no one's expecting you to be a hero. But it's just like, I don't know. I think the maturity would be like, would to phrase it differently, at least. Because, again, I try to look at it as, like, if this was my franchise and I had an older player come in there and he goes, we're going to chase that ring. And I'm like, all right, man, like, how about we just make it to the NFC Championship game? Like, and again, I get it. You always want to, you want to speak things into existence. Like, I get it. I really, really do. But it's a weird thing to hear if you're a fan after your team just got embarrassed at home by the Green Bay Packers. And now your team didn't get any better. It's kind of a disaster. Your owner's saying a bunch of weird stuff. And then now one of the players, that used to be good, who's no longer as good, says, excited to be back. We're going to chase that ring. We've been building, a Super Bowl contender since 2016. And it's like, it just lands weird for me. It really, really does. And I'm curious to see how it lands for you. Like, again, I'm not going to pretend like this is like the biggest deal ever, but it just, it's just like, I don't know. Just say like, I'm excited to be back and, hopefully, make some moves. Again, maybe you're just nitpicking, but now in terms of like Dallas Cowboys making mistakes, I think, again, the real question is like, what are the Dallas Cowboys' intentions? What do they want? They signed Zeke and they don't draft a running back. They don't like try to aggressively get the running back that they want. And whether Nick's right about how they tried to get too cute, and so then they kind of, got caught holding the bag, remains to be seen. I don't know. I just don't think that the Cowboys have always drafted pretty well, so I just don't think that they got caught. That seems like out of character to me. So to me, the real question is like, what do the Dallas Cowboys want this season? And I'm going to talk about that in the next video because I see the next title is, Cowboys or Eagles. And so I'll be posting another video where, we kind of address that. I haven't watched the clip yet, but I just see that's what the title is. And, it's just like, compared to the Eagles who are making all these aggressive moves, signing their big players, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, like they're doing things, going out and getting Saquon Barkley. And then you have the Cowboys who are signing Ezekiel Elliott. It's just, one seems like they're more serious about winning while the other does not. And like I said, I'll talk about that more in depth I'll probably repeat this exact line in that next video, quite honestly. But I just think, you know, this whole idea of, you know, Zeke is, quote, ring chasing. If he was ring chasing, because that's what the title says, ring chasing. If he was ring chasing, he would have tried to talk to Andy Reid and would have said, hey, you want a backup running back for Pacheco? You got me. I can block. I can catch the ball. Hey, I'm ready. I'm focused. I'm a good locker room you know, like he would be doing something like that. Going to the 49ers. Hey, you know, you need another back. Give some, you know, Christian McCaffrey some plays off. Like, I just, you know, I don't know if he'd be running back to Dallas. Dallas is not going to win or get to a Super Bowl this coming season. So, yeah, I don't know. The Cowboys' whole situation just keeps getting weirder and weirder to me, quite honestly. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.